So we're here with Julien from Benighted. I just want to say hi, Julien. How are you doing?
Hey, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I'm fine. As I was telling you, I'm a bit red because I just finished my workout, so that explains the color I've got. I'm,
That's
I'm just
okay.
out of the shower.
Oh, bless. That's fair enough. Um, so in terms of your new album, did you want to let me know how it was recorded, how it was written? It's very, very good. I listened to it yesterday. Really, really, really cool stuff, to be honest. Very, very, uh, very brutal, which I like.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Well, what can I say about we have so this new album Ekbom. It was released in last April.
Mhm,
We worked for it. I mean, over a year, and we always have the same writing process. It's Manuel, our guitarist, who writes almost everything, and then we work all together on the structure of each track.
mhm,
On my side, I work on the lyrics a lot because the concept of Benighted is very, very important for the band,
mhm,
as it's talking about psychiatry, mental illness. I'm a nurse
mhm.
in psychiatry for more than 20 years now, and
Amazing.
I put a lot of attention to write stories about one person in the whole
Mhm,
album,
mhm,
the traumas the person experienced, the how the person falls sick, the symptoms, what kind of pathology it is, and of course what happens. And
mm,
it was 1 year of hard work, as I would say. And then,
mhm,
like usual, we went to the Collocator studio in Germany
mhm,
because Colo
mhm.
is a very, very good friend of us, and we work together for more than 20 years now, also. And
Right.
well, he's like the fifth member of Benighted, so he knows exactly how we must sound, and we work together to make this album even more powerful in terms of sound and production.
Wow, sounds amazing. What was your favorite song on the album, would you say?
For now, my favorite song for now it's Scars, the opening track, because I really like the black metal influences we
Mm,
used. We are a bit back to this black metal riffs that we really enjoyed back in the days with Benighted. Of course,
mhm,
the spine of our music is still death metal, but we like to use here and there some black metal stuff. And
yeah.
Scars, it's for me, it's the perfect track that could define Benighted because it's at the same time very brutal, very fast. There's a
Mhm,
lot of groove inside as well, and
mhm.
the chorus is very catchy, and I love to sing catchy chorus. It's really a pleasure for me to sing stuff like that. So yeah, I would say Scars.
Amazing. And what's the writing process for Benighted then? How does it all work? Do you come up with a riff, or is it lyrics that you find and then you build a song around it? How does that work then?
We work in kind of parallel. Manu, the
Hmm.
guitarist, writes all the music. He
Hmm.
can program drums, he proposes the tracks with almost is all recorded. If he, how can I say that he can program the drums, he record guitars, bass, and he just send us the track and say, "What do you think about these guys?" And we all work on the tracks, give our ideas, and
Hmm.
try to find the most efficient structure at the end. And on my
Hmm.
side, on my own, I work on the concept, on the story behind each album.
Hmm.
And at the end, when I have all the tracks, I try to adapt which part of the story fits with which song. You know, every song has a special spirit, and for
Hmm.
me, it's a lot of fun to say, oh, this track could be perfect to explain this kind of symptoms.
Hmm.
This track would be great to talk about the first trauma the character got.
Hmm.
This kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a really good setup, and it works really well. Really, listening to the album, there's a really good flow in the song selections that you've chosen, and it really flows really well one after the other. So yeah, really good. I remember the days of when you did Asylum Cave.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. So I was listening to you back then, and I think I did a short online review for you guys. And yeah, even that album was absolutely brutal. It was so good. So it's nice to see sort of like, your progression and throughout the years, and adding obviously the black metal side to it as well in the new album. So what would you say are your personal influences? What actually got you into this kind of music?
Oh, when I started listening to death metal, it was actually by accident because
Mm-hmm.
I was a teenager and I wasn't listening to music at all. But with with Olivier, the
Mm-hmm.
first Benighted guitarist, the former Benighted guitarist,
Mm-hmm.
we were huge fans of horror movies. And I remember one day we were at the store searching for uh, horror movies, and we were
Mm-hmm.
in the music side of the shop,
Mm-hmm.
and I found an album of Cannibal Corpse, which was Butchered at Birth. And I
Mm-hmm.
found the cover so cool that I was like, what kind of music can it be with this kind of
Yeah.
cover? And I just bought it. I think I was 17 or 18 again.
Mm,
And when I came back home and I started to listen to it, at
mm.
the first listening, I really hated this kind of music. Like really, I was like, what's the point of making that much noise? What's the point of what are those vocals for? I mean, what is he doing? And I remember that I was listening to that and I made it listen to many of my friends. And then my ear started to get used to the speed, to the aggression of the sound. And I really
Mm,
started to understand what was played. Because I
mm.
mean, when you are not used to listen to this kind of music, your ear are not ready for such an aggression. And
Yeah,
that's why also why when people tell me I can't listen to your music, I'm like I totally understand that because it's I had the first
yeah,
reaction when I listened to it, so I totally understand you. And with
yeah.
Olivier, it started like a joke in college, and we said, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
let's start a band like this." And he was playing guitar.
Mm,
I wasn't playing any instrument, so I said, "I will start to try to do this kind of vocals for fun." And
mm-hmm,
then we
mm.
found other guys, and that's how Benighted is born. Actually,
Wow, that's amazing. That's a really cool story, actually. It started off as a bit of fun and then it actually grew to be something quite magnificent.
yeah, yeah. But when I think of it, back in the days, I wouldn't have imagined, of course, what Benighted would have become, of course.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing. And obviously you guys throughout the years have been doing some great shows in various different festivals, for example. What has been your favorite festival so far to play at?
Oh, my favorite festival is and forever will be Brutal Assault
Yeah, yeah,
in Czech
of course.
Republic. I mean, that's my favorite festival. I mean, the location is just fantastic with a perfect spirit.
Mm,
I mean, there is such a huge atmosphere in this area, and
hmm.
the lineup every year is exactly my taste in music. So
Yeah, yeah.
I would say Brutal Assault for sure number one.
No, that's amazing. That's awesome. So what would you say, what bands are you listening to at the moment? What would be your top five, would you say?
Oh, my top five.
Mm,
Um, I'm a huge fan of in black metal. I'm a huge fan of Der Vegainer Freiheit, black metal
hmm.
band from Germany.
Sure.
Of course, I'm a huge fan of Aborted as well. I mean, we know each other
Oh yeah.
for decades, and
Fabulous.
yeah, I really love what Aborted does. Cattle Decapitation, of course, Napalm
Yes.
Death, and
Yes.
Dying Fetus. That's all.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's amazing. That's a great selection actually. Yeah, I mean we worked with Napalm Death a while back and Barney on stage is amazing, isn't he? He's so
Mm.
full of energy and he still
Exactly.
manages to, you know, put I like their I know they do a few covers as well, don't they? And they do it really well. So yeah, yeah, that's
Oh
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the spirit of Napalm Death. I love what happens on stage. This huge
Mm.
energy that you're talking about. It's such a release of energy on stage. I really love it.
Yeah, I can imagine. And what has the feedback been for the new album then? How has it been received uh, in the media so far
Also,
and by fans?
so far it's very positive. So we are very happy. We worked pretty hard on this album. You know, it's always some kind of a surprise of how it will be received, of course. But so
Mhm.
far we only have good good reactions and we have a lot of tours which are planned to promote it and next year we already are booked at 7 or 8 festivals in the summer, so
Oh wow.
we are very happy about how our album is received. And yeah, everybody is telling us that it's they think that it's our best album so far. So you never know. For you, your best album is always the last one, but
Yeah.
people are telling the same. So we are tempted to agree. And
That's
we
cute.
hope that we will do even better the next time. We will see.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. You're kind of thinking, yeah, this is the greatest album, but you think, you're open to thinking, we could even do better. It's fantastic. That's really, really good mindset, I think. Um, in terms of personalities in the band, then, so what is everybody like as people? How do you all connect? Do you hang out outside the band? What kind of things do you enjoy doing?
Oh, outside of the band, what? Myself, you mean me?
Yeah, so I'd say maybe, the personalities, the people that are in the band. What are they like? How would you describe the personalities? And do you hang out? What are there things that
Of
you do
each
outside
member.
music?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
the thing is that we live pretty far one from the other because we all live in
Mm,
a different part in France, and
mm.
uh, and only with Pierre, the bassist, we live like 20 minutes or something.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Manu lives in Lyon now, the guitarist. Before
Hmm.
he used to live in Dijon, which was way farther. So now we can hang out in Lyon and have some parties together. Um,
Hmm.
in terms of personalities, I would say that of course in the band I'm like the dad, the papa, because I'm the
Yeah.
older one.
Aw,
I'm the only
yeah.
former member left. So I'm
Yeah.
the papa.
Hmm.
Um, Manu is the musical brain. I mean, he's such a genius when it start to be about writing riffs. I mean, he's a genius, and he has such a huge sense of humor. I mean, you can have amazing evenings with this guy. He's so funny, like really.
Oh,
Uh,
amazing. Yeah.
Pierre is Pierre is working in psychiatry like me. He's a nurse also. So
Mm-hmm.
he's someone very funny too, but also knows a lot about psychology. So he's the only one I can really talk seriously about the lyrics in Benighted because he's the only one that actually understands what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
The other ones they find it pretty boring. If I want to punish them, I say I will talk to you about the lyrics, and I don't know. and, and Kevin, the drummer, I would say Kevin is not even human. I think Kevin he is so dedicated to his instrument. I mean, he's so serious,
Hmm.
such a perfectionist.
Hmm.
I mean, he's working so hard for drums. For
Hmm.
as soon as he has a passion, he goes inside 100%, and he becomes some kind of a genius on every field he wants to start. So he's really someone that I admire a lot and probably one of the most intelligent people I've ever seen.
Wow, that's amazing. It's really good to know about the personalities actually. That's really, because you sort of understand the dynamic of the band as well and maybe how
Yeah,
you all gel and it's that's really cool.
that's great
Has
because we all, sorry, but I was it's very cool because we all have this crazy side when we can be party animals and do very stupid things like teenagers, and we all have this or how can I say that? Like, we can have these serious moments talking about real things and being
Mhm.
very adult and and talk about
Yeah.
what matters and what's
Mhm.
important, of course.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's fabulous. That's really good. It's good that you have that kind of dynamic as well, where you can sort of let loose, but then at the same time have this strong bond with each other, where you can actually adapt that to your music as well.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Have you ever toured with a band where you've idolized them and you've been like, wow, this is really cool. I'm really happy about this. So
Did I
has
say that to who?
So if have you ever toured with a band that has been an influence, for example,
Ah,
where you've been really happy to have played with them?
oh, the first was Napalm Death for me. The first time I played with Napalm Death, I was like a teenager. I loved it,
Oh,
and
amazing.
also it's more of a personal thing because I was listening to Sepultura a lot when I was younger. I
Hmm.
mean, and
Hmm.
the first time I met Max Cavalera,
Hmm.
it was at a gig in France in Montpellier, and Gloria, his wife, uh, texted me on my messenger on my messenger
Hmm.
to tell me that Max wanted to meet me because he really likes Benighted and he wanted to meet me. So I was like, for me, it was
Wow,
so it talked immediately to the teenager inside me, and I was like, oh my god, he wants to meet me.
that's amazing. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
really it was. And so I went to Montpellier with a friend of mine, and
Mhm.
they invited us in the tour bus, and we had I think like 1 hour talking and talking and talking. And he's such a nice guy, really someone so so passionate, so easy to talk to. And
Mm,
it was for a Soulfly show, and
mhm.
I was on the side of the stage while he was playing, and he invited me to sing Roots Bloody Roots with him. So it was like a teenager
Wow,
dream come true this
wow, I
day.
bet that was amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that was one of the best moments in my life because it really means something when someone you admire a lot when you're a teenager
Mm-mm.
started to become very started to admire what you do as a musician. I mean, it's a huge reward for all the work and everything. So yeah, that was really one of the best day of my life this day.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a lovely story, and I'm sure he'll be quite happy to hear that as well. Um, so, in terms of Benighted, what are your plans for 2024 and 2025? What things have you got in the pipeline?
We are going on tour in September to Canada.
Hmm.
We have a tour in Canada, then we will be back at the beginning of October. Then in October, we have 5 or 6 gigs in France.
Hmm.
And then we start in November a European tour with Beist from Denmark and Coffin Feeder from Belgium.
Hmm.
Then in January, we play the 70,000 tons of metal, the cruise
Oh,
in Miami.
amazing!
Yeah, for the
Yeah,
second time.
that
We
looks
are
so
very
good.
yeah, yeah, it's such a crazy experience. I mean, I'm very looking forward to be back. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have a South American tour in March.
Hmm.
And then in May, we are supposed to play Japan and Australia. And then summer festivals. And normally in autumn, we go back to the US.
Oh, fabulous! Wow, so you're touring internationally as well next year, which
Yeah, oh
sounds.
yeah. We'll be very, very busy. And my
Mm.
boss at work won't be happy, probably.
Oh, but that's incredible though, and I'm sure you inspire a lot of people with obviously your songs and the music and everything. Um, uh, have you ever played an instrument yourself?
Yeah, I can play a bit of drums, but really a bit of drums. I'm very bad, but I play music with my patients at the hospital I'm working in. Every Wednesday,
Hmm.
I have kind of musical can I say that? Musical work section with the
Hmm.
patients. All my patients are suffering with schizophrenia or bipolar disease, and
Hmm.
I do that for years now. I kind of organize the rehearsal room at the hospital
Hmm.
I'm working in because there is a room where you cannot hear any sound coming from it. So I
Hmm.
put it my drum kit inside, and I
Hmm.
have some patients who play guitar. Another one can play keyboards, and every Wednesday morning we are a band of 8 or 9 people, and
Hmm.
we play music and we sing and we write lyrics. And almost every 2 years, I bring the patients to a recording studio where we record. Of course, it's not metal at all. It's more
Hmm.
like French music, like with intense lyrics, nothing to do with metal. But every 2 years, I bring them to a recording studio, and with the contacts I have with designers and printers, I make kind of a real album like I do with Benighted, and all the patients can go back home with the albums with their name on it and the instrument or the vocals they've done, and it's for them it's really they work a lot on their symptoms without even noticing they're working on them because it's all about fun and music, but they work a lot on themselves doing that.
That's amazing. That's incredible because I think they can take a part of creativity from, I
Exactly.
guess, the
Yeah.
healing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because my patients most of the time in their family they are the sick person in the society, they are the sick person, but in
Mhm.
this small moment where we are together, they are guitarists, they are an author, they are singer, and that's
Mm.
very rewarding for them, and it helps them to feel better about their own self-esteem.
Wow, that's incredible. That's a very beautiful thing to do. You know, I'm sure that they're very happy about that because I think when people are suffering, I think they need an outlet, and I feel like music, whether you listen to metal or whether it's a creative outlet, I think it really sort of helps channel any kind of blocked emotion, if that makes sense, or and
Exactly.
even and brings out sort of the creativity in yourself as well, because you can, like you say, you know, a lot of music is about writing stories and you know, in the lyrical content, but also if it couples that with their, you know, personal feelings or their pain that they're going through, you know, or maybe it's something, you know, that comes up in, you know, their thoughts, it's a great way to heal, I think, for sure.
Yeah. I totally agree, and it's a way to release some emotions that you couldn't do normally. I mean,
Mm.
I
Yeah.
do it myself. I mean, there's not, sometimes you have this kind of music which really pushes the right spots inside you, and you feel
Mm.
like tears
Yeah.
are coming to your eyes. You're like, oh my God. Wow. And it helps you release a lot of things, and I really love this feeling, and I think that's very important to be able to release them and not keep them inside.
Definitely. It's interesting because a lot of people sort of talk about metal as being, you know, evil and all this kind of stuff. But actually, sometimes what it's doing actually is removing blockages. You know, like I
Mhm.
mean, I know personally when I go into like a practice room, for example, and I'm screaming out all the death metal and stuff, you know, it feels as if like you've had a therapy afterwards because any sort of anger that was in you has now been released. You know. Um,
And
Same
you
with I
release it
think,
in a very positive way. That's the good
yeah.
thing. But it's about bringing positivity and
Mhm.
use all the negative energies that you get from the society, from every problems you have, and you release
Mm.
them in a very positive way, and without doing anyone any harm, which is
Like,
the perfect way to do.
yeah, to deal with negative energy. Absolutely, yeah. And that's what I always say. In darkness, creation is born.
Mm.
It's a quote that I go by because actually, even when you go through these bad things, or you know, like you say, society and everything, if you have a channel to be able to express that and get it out of your body, whether it's vocally, guitar wise, you know, drum wise, you know, it's a sort of a catharsis almost, isn't it?
Exactly. Totally agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, yeah, that's so cool. So I guess what kind of so say if there was a teenager that wanted to start a band that was death metal, what advice would you give to them to you know what sort of things should they prepare for?
I would ask them this question first, and it's an old guy talking. Say,
Hmm.
what do you want to do? Do you want to play the music that you like, or do you
Hmm.
want to get famous?
Mm,
Because nowadays it's two really different things. Because you have
mm,
some bands who wants to play their music, and you have some bands who wants to get famous.
hmm.
And if you want to play the music you like,
Hmm.
stay always very authentical and professional, and respect what you do, and show respect to the people who support you all the time. And if you want to
100%.
get famous, I would say learn a lot about promotion, all the new codes, with
Mm,
all the new medias that you have, TikTok, this kind of stuff,
mm,
which is
mhm.
definitely not my culture at all. But you have to learn the codes and adapt yourself to make
Mm,
your band grow and grow and grow if your
mhm.
point is to become famous.
Yeah, because there is two. I guess there's the sort of the underground element of writing music, which is quite, you know, underground, but then I guess fame will happen when your it's kind of like your passion drives what you do, but if
Mhm.
lots of people like it, then your fame will grow.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like I think, you know, because obviously, you know, within death metal you have bands that are quite big, like, you know, Arch Enemy, for example, as well, and Carcass and, you know, Napalm Death as example. And obviously yourselves that have, it's been you've been a major you know, band in the death metal scene. And how has the journey been like? So, you know, when obviously you started out through to, you know, where you were quite underground to where you are now. What was the journey like?
Well, it was. I mean, we've always worked the same way. I mean, we changed the lineup many times, but every
Mm,
time we had someone, it was for something uh, even better for the band. And
mm,
every time they kept the same spirit that I have with Benighted. It's to make as many shows as we can because the Benighted is expressing itself on stage at first, and we want to be on stage before everything. So we want to
mhm,
tour everywhere it's possible. When we
mhm,
are in the recording process of an album, we always stay authentical,
mhm,
writing what we like, not paying attention to the what's the trend at the
mhm,
moment, what's working and everything, which is a trap that many bands can fall into, unfortunately.
mhm,
And most important, we stay very close to our fans. I mean, after a show, we always hang out at the merch table at the bar to meet the fan, to have amazing times with them.
mhm,
And
mhm,
after all these years of touring,
mhm,
uh, one of the most rewarding thing for me is that in every country I've played, every city I've played, I have some people that I can call friends and that I will be very happy to see if I come back again and everything. That's one of the
mhm.
I love all these um, human connections that you can have
Yeah,
everywhere and build
yeah,
memories with some people. And when you meet them, even if you see them, I don't know, twice or three times in your life, you can have three amazing times with them, and it matters
mm,
to me. So yeah, but I would say
yeah.
that.
Amazing. So you know, like in this day and age, obviously, the live scene has, you know, experienced quite a lot of change. So whereby back in the day, I think there used to be where you would meet your favorite band, for example, backstage for, you know, these days they have sort of like paid for meet and greets and things. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree with that, or do you think you should just hang out with your fans?
I understand why bands do that. I
Hmm.
understand why bands do that. Or I mean, people think they have no other way to meet their bands, and it's easy money for the bands. So I
Hmm.
understand why they're doing that.
Hmm.
One important thing is that Benighted is not my job.
Hmm.
I have a full-time job, and Benighted is not the thing that makes me live. So
Hmm.
I prefer not getting into this meet and greet stuff because I will never make anyone pay to make a picture with me or have an
Yeah,
autograph or spend 2 minutes with me to have a chat or something. So I
yeah,
understand why bands do that, but Benighted will never do that.
yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, I think it's kind of lost the whole. Um, I don't know when bands. Yeah, and as you say, I understand why they do it, but I think, especially as someone who has, you know, met their people that, you know, have been on stage and things like that, there was something really nice about meeting them, um, without the concept of money being behind it. Do you know what I mean? And I think, you know, there was something very sort of, um, like you say, very authentic in that, in the sense that
Mm.
you're meeting someone, and, you know, and it's, you know, great for the fan, you know, and I'm sure it's great for the artist as well. So yeah, I
Yeah.
100% agree with that. That's,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. In terms of your tours then that are coming up, is there a tour that you're particularly excited about where you've maybe not been before, or maybe somewhere that you're looking forward to seeing? Is there anything that you're looking forward to in particular?
But for next year, it's Australia and Japan because I've never been there, and
Yeah.
that's two of the countries I dream of playing there, of playing.
Mm,
And and we were supposed to play in Japan in 2020. You
mhm.
know why it was cancelled, of course. And I'm really looking forward to finally be able to play in Japan and Australia. But it's two countries that I really dream to be.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Is there anything that you like about those countries in particular? Is there like any sites that you want to see while you're there?
Well, in Japan, I'm curious about the culture. and meeting a lot of people as well. And in Australia, it's more about the sightseeing as well, because it seems to be such a beautiful country. I'm sure there are tons of things to admire. I will take picture with my phone all the time, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay then. So I guess one of our next questions is going to be a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
If you had to have a 3-course meal as one of your last meals, what would it be?
My last meal.
Yeah. Something a bit interesting. So you have to have a starter, main course, and dessert.
Okay. Oh my God. The dessert, I know. It's the strawberry ice cream of my grandma. So I'm
Oh,
sure about
amazing.
that. I'm sure about that. I'm a huge fan of for a starter. I'm a huge fan of salad with a lot of stuff inside.
Yeah, lots of
Like
salads.
ham,
Yeah.
tomatoes, and I love this kind of salads.
Mm-hmm.
And the main dish, oh my God, what will it be?
It's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard when you're. I'm a huge fan of meat, so I would say a huge piece of beef.
Yeah,
Probably that, because I really like meat, so I probably a huge piece of beef with. But this beef that you keep in sauce for days, and it's the sauce
Oh yeah, marinated.
yeah, comes in. Yeah, I love this.
That sounds amazing. So salad, steak, and your grandma's strawberry ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so good combination. Then sentence to death someday. I will ask for this for my last dish.
I thought I'd just throw something fun in there.
Yeah.
And also, what has been the craziest thing that you've ever done on tour?
That I've done, I don't know, but happened to me. I I have a few. I was, for example, on the funny stories I've got. I sing barefoot
Really?
all the time since I started Benighted, because I really like to feel the ground under my feet when I sing. I mean, it makes me more animal. I know it helps me release the energy in a different way, and I
Yeah.
really love it. And
Wow.
funny stories happened to me because of that.
Yeah.
The first one, I would say, when we were touring in Asia, I was playing in India,
Mhm.
Guwahati. It was an open air festival, and
Mhm.
I got electrocuted on stage so, with a microphone. So I fall on the side, and then it took like 24 hours for my right arm to start moving normally, because it was like paralyzed, and I was starting to get very scared, but
Oh
it wouldn't move again. And the guys were like, Julien, we should bring you to the hospital. An hospital in India? Never. Never. So yeah, that was a very funny story because of that. And
Mm.
the last one, my God. That's the first time I slapped someone in the face during a show. We were playing in Slovakia, and I felt something pretty weird on my
Yeah.
toe. And when I was looking, there was a guy sucking on my big toe. And I felt so violated. My first reaction was to slap him in the face, because you see, it was not for fun. He really seemed to enjoy it. So that's why I was touring with the guys from the Netherlands, Teeth Grinder, and
Yeah.
and with Jonathan, the singer. He told me, Julien, you should create a hashtag #MeToo.
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't
Oh, yeah,
even
yeah.
know what to do if someone did that to me on
It was
stage.
horrible, and especially because when you're on stage, the stage is disgusting. So
Yeah.
the bottom of my feet and my toes black. I mean, it was disgusting. And this guy was sucking on it. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, that's a funny story. I didn't enjoy it at the moment, but black humor, it's always drama plus time. So here we are.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I could just picture you sort of like, screaming your heart out, and then you look down and there's someone sucking on your toe, enjoying
Yeah,
themselves.
what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
And the anger just comes out smack. Oh, amazing. They're really fun stories. Yeah, so I think in terms of writing a new album, then in terms of have you had any sort of new ideas, through obviously the work that you do, or do you have plans to write a new album soon, or?
Well, we started something with the new album. We started to use
Mhm,
the samples in a very different way. Normally, we only use samples as intro or something, and
mhm,
for this one, we included samples in our music to make some creepy breaks, between two very brutal parts to at the same time let the track breathe a bit
mhm,
and also set up some kind of creepy atmospheres before
mm,
starting back to brutality. And I think that's someone dig uh, we will dig a lot in the next albums because it's really it brings you a lot of feelings that I really enjoy, and
mhm.
it makes our music even more richer, in my opinion. So I think that's something we will push a bit far in the next album.
Wow, sounds really good. Well, it sounds like you've got everything set up, haven't you? You've got some great tours coming up. You've got, a great album, which obviously you'll be touring with. And, you've got some really funny stories, some really great content. It sounds like you're going to have a great time with your tours. And, I really want to thank you also for this interview because, it's been really, really good. And it's really great to know about the people in the band as well, and learning about obviously what you guys are like and how you write music and, where your influences come from. Really interesting to know how you started with it being quite a fun thing and how it's progressed. So yeah, thank you so much, Julien. It's been an
Thank you,
absolute
Karina.
honor interviewing you today, and yeah, good luck with it all. I think you're a great band, and all the best for the future.
It was a pleasure for me. Thank you for everything, Karina, and I hope to see you on tour, of course.
Yes, definitely. Okay then. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Perfect.
So
Have a nice evening.
you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.